G'day everyone. I've had a few people ask me why did I start up a solo lawn care operation at my age, now 59, going on 60. Am I mad? Well, maybe not. But I'm at a different stage of life to other people. Um, but now after 2 seasons, I know the right decision was made. There were varying reasons from it. And I'll just go through a couple of those. And one of the biggies was, I'd say, health, and both body and mind. And I'm better for that now. But let's go back to early 2020 when the COVID panic hit. Our state government had put us in lockdown, and I had to work from home. Lawn mowing in New South Wales was a designated business, and it allowed you to get out and do stuff, and that got me thinking. I was working 12 to 14 hours a day in my role, and a lot of that was behind the computer in my role as an agribusiness manager for a major bank, and it was full on, and it was starting to get a bit claustrophobic. The regulatory framework of banks had been tightened, and it was starting to get ridiculous. And as I mentioned, I wanted to be more active, improve my fitness and well-being. And I was also thinking of retirement. My preservation age, superannuation is different in all countries, but here my preservation age was 58, and once I hit that, I have the opportunity to access a certain amount of that. So, the brain gets thinking, and, I was thinking about that more and more. So, but in the way it is, I haven't needed it yet, but it's a backup and it's a safety net for me. So that puts me in a different situation to a lot of other people who, are looking to start a lawn care business. With COVID and lockdowns, well, what do? You can't go anywhere. You can only mow your own place so many times. You can only clean your house so many times, even though you can see the mess behind me. What do? You watch YouTube, don't you? So, and this is where I came across mowing businesses that were putting themselves out there and taking you through their journey, and I was hooked. The ones I learned a great deal from at the time, so this 2-3 years ago, were DLT Lawn Care, Doc, g'day Sarah, and Happy's family, Rachel and Carl, same to you guys. You're unreal and helped me more than you know. Doc and I have corresponded on a few things, and he's been super helpful and super supportive. So it's just been great. I know and understand business, but it was the practical stuff and the whys and hows of mowing, the whippersnipping, the trimming, the techniques and the tricks of the trade, and they showed me that sort of stuff, and it was great. And since then, and still, I watch as much as I can to learn from others. Blade mate Sean, he's up in the Hunter Valley in New South Wales. Team Elite and family, Randall and family, thank you. Lawn Stars, Big Mo and the King, Ray, Ratlifts, Wes and Mariah, and Caleb's. They're the ones that I do watch a lot of because I like to watch their mowing techniques. There may be some people I've missed. I'm really sorry about that, but you've all helped me in a great way, and thank you. Many from far away now, they're like old-fashioned pen pals, and that's just fantastic. But back to the story. So I'd been with the bank for 19.5 years, and that allowed me a good dollop of long service leave and annual leave. So in September 2020, I paid the deposit on the little Bobcat, and I received it in December. That's 3 months, but COVID was supposed to be 6 weeks, but the peak of the season had passed, and so spring here is early September, is September through to sort of end of November, and then early summer is December. So the peak is September through to December roughly. But it wasn't a bad thing. It allowed me the time to set up the business, the accounts, get some marketing stuff together, in that early to mid 2021. I wasn't overwhelmed, which was good. Started off slowly and quietly with my neighbours, Sam and Chloe, and their boys, Billy and Tommy, who were 5 and 3 at the time, next door, and Jeff and Pete across the road. You would see those photos of that big historic property. They were my guinea pigs, and helped knock me into shape, and you guys are great. I can't thank you guys enough for allowing me to just practice and get things together. I was still full-time at the bank, and I just work weekends, but things were coming together, and it allowed me to generate some small cash flow, but everything I got I put into the business to buy more equipment, and I obviously still had my bank job. So in May 21 I applied for long service leave and started that in September 21, and then it all became real. And I reckon I asked myself a dozen times a day, was I doing the right thing? During August of 21, I put myself out there on Facebook Marketplace, Yellow Pages, which is an online business phone directory here, Gumtree, which is an Australian sort of buy-sell site, and Google and Google Business. So the Facebook Marketplace and Google Business hit a different demographic, I would say younger. Yellow Pages and Gumtree hit an older demographic. Google Business, you've got a Google account, but you have to have a Google Business account. But what that also does, it links you to Google Maps. So I found that really good as well. And I also visited local real estate agents who all knew me or knew of me, and that helps. Particularly if I could get one-off end-of-lease tidy-ups and things like that. September 21 was slower than I thought, but it exploded in October. And I worked 7 days a week and loved it, and I was hooked. I was into it. I was knocking back a lot of work, but that was okay. But that showed that my research was good, and it doesn't faze me knocking back work, because I need to look after myself, and I also have to have some breaks in my schedule. The one thing I didn't want to do was have too much work, because no one wins. I have to make sure I look after my regular customers, and they come first, and it's easier to upsell to them than it is a new customer. So things have been working out okay. I'm very upfront with any new customers in a nice way with my rates and how I operate with my schedule and my payment terms. And then when I commit to something, I do it. When I schedule it, I'm there on time. If I can't, I contact the customer. I don't deal with any middlemen or brokers. I only deal direct with the customers. So 2 seasons in, I now have 20 to 30 regular customers. They range from smaller residential to rural residential, which there's a few on farm, so they're the house block on a farm. They're medium to large and commercial. I find this mix works really well when I have to juggle. The commercials are the priority, and then I can, if I have to, move around the smaller ones to fit in with that. As I said, I'm in a different position to a lot of other people, but I have the luxury to fall back on my super. As I'm sure you can tell, I'm pretty easygoing, but I'm a very determined person. And once I put my mind and energy into it, this thing was going to work, and it has. I'm glad I've done it. It's tested my business skills and experience, and it's also taught me practical skills, and I'm healthier, and that's what I wanted to do. And it's sort of the next phase of my life, and you know, I'm busy enough now, and I can scale it back then as well. So, and then ultimately I will retire full on. I mean, I'm technically retired, but I will pull back at some stage in the future. And the other thing, like everyone in small business, it's mine. It's my baby, and I'm really enjoying that feeling of having my own business. So I hope you got something out of it. Yeah, I'm putting myself out there a little bit, but that's okay. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.